This weekend, there was another one of these so-called Save America rallies in Florence, South Carolina. Now, I don't need to explain to you the irony that if the people who speak at these Save America rallies were in power, we would destroy America. And case in point, this particular rally in Florence, South Carolina, Donald Trump was speaking in theory in support of 2022 candidates. Now, the funny thing is, Trump can really only talk about himself. So there was about an hour speech, shorter speech than normal, actually only about 50 minutes, I think, because it was cold out. And when it's cold out, Donald Trump's speeches are much shorter. He only allowed the two candidates to speak for like 30 seconds each at the very end. And so it was hard to tell that it was supposedly a rally supporting 2022 candidates. But it doesn't matter because it's all about Trump. Trump was visibly swollen. His both eyes were swollen, almost completely shut. I still don't understand why that happens. It's a very strange thing. But here is Donald Trump all but confirming that he's running in 2024. Take a listen.
Take back the Senate, and we are going to take back America. And in 2024, we are going to take back that beautiful, beautiful White House.
Yeah.
I wonder who will do that. I wonder.
Yeah. So listen, clearly at this point, Trump's plan is to run unless he gets sick and can't run. You know, I mean, he's going to be close to 80 years old at the time. No one's health is guaranteed. Statistically speaking, when you're almost 80, your health is less guaranteed than when you're almost 70 and almost 60. Okay, I mean, we're talking about math here, but it seems pretty clear that he's going to run if he can. And by pretending or sort of not yet fully announcing it, he wants to avoid having to file financial disclosure reports. That's really the only reason I can think of not to announce it yet. Donald Trump then, beyond parody, calls Joe Biden physically and mentally challenged.
Joe Biden failed to deter Russia's outrageous invasion of Ukraine. You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done in just 13 months. We have a president representing our country at the most important time in history who is physically and mentally challenged.
Now, there are real, the guy in the glass house should not be catapulting stones at others, I think. I don't know that we need to say more about that. Donald Trump did address the Russian invasion of Ukraine, but not as such. He vaguely refers to conflict in Eastern Europe and how lack of respect is a factor in what's going on. He doesn't really criticize Putin directly. Like he says Putin has been driven to put it together, which is really strange language. It feels as though Trump is kind of trying to support Ukraine without really going after Putin.
And for all the talk about violent conflict in Eastern Europe, and it's a terrible thing, and we're going to help, and we're going to do whatever we can, because nobody can look at the bloodshed much longer, what's happening. It's a lack of respect for a lot of people, a lot of things, but It's just a total lack of respect. And it happens to be a man that is just driven. He's driven to put it together. And you look at it and it's just so ridiculous and so senseless and so.
So, yeah, I mean, when you hear that, it's like, I think he's against the Russian invasion of Ukraine, but he says the issue is respect and Putin's driven to put it together. Like, why can't he just straightforwardly condemn the actions of Putin and Putin himself? Why is that so difficult? Then, and this is where it really gets to be beyond parody, Trump takes credit for giving military aid to Ukraine, ignoring that he was impeached because he withheld the aid, trying to get Zelensky to give him dirt on Biden and announce an investigation into Biden. Now he wants credit for having given the military aid that he was shamed into giving to Ukraine.
Remember that with Ukraine, I sent the javelins that you see are so effective against the tanks. Biden didn't. And in fact, he ended our last order. Probably it'll get there because everyone realized it was the right thing to do. And Obama, remember Obama, Biden, they sent blankets. I sent javelins and they sent, well, you know what the javelins are? The anti-tank.
Yeah, the javelins. Listen, Trump tried not to send the aid to Zelensky so that Zelensky would announce that he was investigating Joe Biden. And then he was shamed into sending the aid because Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, outed all of it. Trump was shamed into sending the aid. Now he wants credit for it. Then, and this is bizarre, Trump calls on his supporters to lay down their lives to fight critical race theory. What? Who would do that, and why would you need to? Critical race theorists are going to kill people who don't like critical race? What?
Anything. Getting critical race theory out of our schools is not just a matter of values, it's also a matter of national survival. We have no choice. The fate of any nation ultimately depends upon the willingness of its citizens to lay down, and they must do this, lay down their very lives to defend their country. If we allow the Marxists and communists and socialists to teach our children to hate America, there will be no one left to defend our flag or to protect our great country or its freedom.
This is prototypical fascist propaganda, reactionary fascist propaganda. Imagine even believing you might even have the opportunity to die for, or I guess fighting against critical race theory. And this is one of these examples of critical theory. I am not a critical theorist. I'm not a postmodernist, etc. But much like General Mark Milley said, it's not about wanting to be for or against these things necessarily. It's about studying them and understanding them. Imagine if I said, I'm willing to die against the teaching of existentialism. You would say, David, that's extraordinarily stupid. It's not very different with what they're talking about with critical race theory. They don't know what it is. They know they're against it, but they are weaponizing it. And you end up, the logical conclusion is Trump saying you might have to die against critical race theory. Then remember, Republicans want to reduce the power of the president. But here's Trump saying we should add a new presidential power.
We will pass critical reforms, making every executive branch employee fireable by the President of the United States. The deep state must and will be brought to heel.
So Trump openly promoting the deep state conspiracy theory. But remember, they claim to be for small government, against the president having too much power. But he is saying, no. Let's give the president more power to have any federal employee be fireable directly by the president. Trump then seemingly confused about beautiful blood. I don't even know what this means.
And pure, unflinching courage is coursing through our veins of beautiful, beautiful blood, red, white, and blue. We will not.
Beautiful red, white, and blue blood, folks. It is a beautiful thing. So Trump's rally in South Carolina highlighted a few things. Number one, even rallies meant to be for other people really are about Trump. The rally was supposedly for some candidates. They barely spoke until the very end, 30 seconds. And all they basically had to do was say how great Trump was. It's all about Trump. Number two, he clearly is running in 2024 unless something changes with regard to his health or maybe his ability to win the nomination. If he got wind that he definitely has no shot, maybe he wouldn't run. And number three, he's repeating the same unoriginal stuff at this point. And a big part of his appeal in 2016 was he was saying new things. They were unexpected. They were wild. They were wacky. They no longer are that anymore. But there are still quite literally tens of millions of people who seem okay voting for the same failed talking points, which if Trump were to win would lead to global humiliation, even greater than when Trump won last time. But also absolutely, sorry, hit my mic there. Absolutely nothing getting done for another 4 years. One of our sponsors is Little Spoon, your one-stop shop for easy, healthy meals and snacks for your baby, toddler, or big kid. If you're a parent of any age child, Little Spoon makes healthy meal times simpler, and it saves you hours at a very reasonable price. Little Spoon makes everything fresh, just like homemade, but it's delivered to your door and ready in seconds. Pop it in the fridge or freezer, and it is ready when you are. They have 100% organic, cold-pressed baby food for every eating stage, awesome food for toddlers and for kids. They even just launched a new line of on-the-go smoothies that kids love. Everything is nutritionally balanced, no junk food, but it is kid-approved. It's food that they'll actually eat and enjoy. And you can't beat the prices with kids' meals under $5, baby food and smoothie snacks under $3. Little Spoon is giving my audience 50% off your first order. Go to littlespoon.com and use the code PACMAN. The link is down below.